and welcome. Today is Monday, June 2nd of 2025, and these are some of the things I'm doing around the garden. We had a lot of leftover food, like some bananas went bad, and just like leftover from vegetables. So what I'm gonna do today is I just chop them up and I'm gonna feed it to the worms. This is a worm bin that I made a couple months ago, and whenever I can, I come around and feed the worms. And I also put some newspapers in there to keep it a little more on the drier side. So I'll show you how the bin is doing right now. So I just put the food scraps in the middle and I give it a good mix. Let's see if I can pull some. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. There's some worms in here. And I put mostly the red wiggly worms. They produce more compost than the regular ones that you have in the ground. But you can use the regular worms that you find in your garden as well. And I give it a good mix. And if the mixture gets too wet or the bucket gets too wet, I put some newspaper. That way it's not so wet, because the red wiggly worms or any worms, they don't like water. So yeah, so I just give it a good mix. I try to check on it at least once or twice a week. And I have this nice cover here. And I close it tightly. And then I just come back in 2 to 3 days again. After I fed the worms, the kiddos and I went around the garden to see what we could harvest. One of the kiddos found carrots that were ready to harvest. That's so cool. Do you think there's more?
Let's see.
Let's see.
No, not this one.
Not this one.
No.
Nice.
No. No.
Pick one, please.
I want to pick one first. Sure. Now let's see which one you can pick. Put it right here. Now, can I pick another one?
Sure, there's another one. Nice. That's so cool.
I think this is the harvesting time. What have we been doing in this earlier time? What have you been?
After we harvest the carrots, we take the tops of the carrots and we just feed it to the chickens. And these are the carrots that we harvest from that little spot. There weren't many, but they were really good.
This one's soft.
Nice. After we harvest the carrots, we went down to the peach tree that we have, and we were able to harvest a few peaches. This is a donut peach tree, and we planted it 2 years ago. This is our second harvest. Then we checked on the strawberries.
Strawberry.
This is what we were able to harvest today from the garden. Then I went down to check on the corn and the beans that are sprouting, and I gave it a good watering. After watering the corn, I went up and watered the tomato plant that I just transplanted and the basil plants. The tomato plant was looking a little bit sad, but it actually came back. And the basil plants, to my surprise, were doing pretty well. After watering some of the plants, I went up to the upper raised bed, and one of the main things I'll be doing here is cleaning it up and then transplanting some plants and direct sowing some beans. Our raised bed, I'm gonna have to clean it. Here are the lettuce that I'll be transplanting. They definitely have been in the potting mix box for way too long. So this will be more of an experiment. It's starting to get yellow leaves and some kind of, maybe that's just mud. Anyhow, these are the ones I'll be transplanting over in that corner there. I transplanted the lettuce back there. I did 3, 1, 2, 3, and this area is already getting shade. I trellised the cucumber, and now I'm going to direct sow some beans in this area. I'm trying to build up the soil in this raised bed as much as I can, especially because I had garlic in this raised bed. I just harvested about a month ago, so I'm just trying to build the soil up. So I'm gonna direct sow some beans in here. I visited my mom, and she bought these beans just at her local store, and I thought they're very pretty, and I wanted to give it a go to see if I can plant them, if they would grow. She just bought them for cooking. I'm gonna see if they come up just after I direct sow them. So I'll just show you how I do that. I'm gonna give it a good watering, and I'm just gonna plant where the soybeans died. I definitely need to add some compost to this soil. Okay, I'm going to put 2 seeds per hole just in case one is not viable. 6 and 6. Two seeds. Make sure that it makes contact with the soil. And these beans, I'm not sure if they'll be bush beans or vining beans. If they happen to be vining beans, I'm just gonna put some bamboo or give it like a quick trellis so they can vine to. Very carefully put them down. So I have 1, 2, 3 spots that I've planted them. I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots with the beans. So I'm just gonna cover them up, give it a good patting to make sure there's no extra air pockets, and then give it a good watering. If they're good, if the seeds are good, then they'll sprout in 6, maybe 8 to 12 days. It's starting to get hotter, and beans love hot weather, so I'm hoping they'll sprout between 7 and 8 days. This is a spinach plant that I planted in the winter, so maybe October or November, maybe late December. Anyhow, I planted it in the winter, and I decided to let it go to seed. So I've never seen spinach bloom or save seeds before, so this is just kind of fun to see this. Reminds me of lettuce plants. I wonder if they're in the same family. But I have, let me see, this is one plant, and they'll start bolting or going to seed when it gets pretty hot. It's June, so it's starting, the summer is here already, so it's gonna start producing seeds already. Let's see, oh, there they are. That's awesome. That's so cool. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 plants that are going to seed. So I'll be saving those for next season. And moving along, this patch, these are black beans that I bought at the store, organic black beans, and I just direct sowed them in here. And I did this last year in another spot, so I wanted to give it a try in this area again. I had garlic in this area about a month ago. I think I harvested all of the garlic, and to build up the soil again, a good crop to put in after garlic is beans, because it's high in nitrogen and it's gonna rebuild the soil. So what I need to do now that they've sprouted is, maybe you can see this one here, this plant here. In some spots I put 2 seeds. So what I'm gonna do here is just cut the one that is quote unquote the weakest one, so this one, and I'm just gonna cut it with the scissor so I don't damage the plant next to it. And I'm gonna do that let's see, throughout this bed. This one is a really good example. This one is taller than this one, so I'm just gonna come and cut it here. Beans are very nutritious for you. They have a lot of nutrients, so I'm trying to grow a lot of crops this year that I can save to eat later in the winter, but also that are high in nutrients, protein, and overall like have a good health profile. Okay, so today I worked on the cleaning up the carrots, thinning them out. Direct sowed some beans. I trellised the cucumbers in the back there. What else? Remove some weeds, thin out the beets, and thin out the black beans. And also remove some weeds from this raised bed, and remove some plants that I don't want them growing between the beans here. Okay, I'm down to the last area of raised bed number 6. I already cleaned up the top, and I started cleaning up this area. I used to have sweet pea plants here. They didn't do as well as last year, and yesterday I started cleaning this area up. And when I harvest a lot of the crops, I try my best to cut it at the base, especially plants in the like beans, sweet peas, nut peas, and the pea family, because they have these little knobs at the bottom that provide nitrogen to the plants. And the cool part that I learned the other day is that if a plant nearby doesn't need as much nitrogen, it would just stop taking it. So yeah, that's just so cool that plants know when to take up nitrogen or not. I don't know if this is true if you put like artificial fertilizer, or if you buy it like at the store, like a buffer meal. I'm not too sure about that, but anyhow, I'm just gonna clean that up and figure out what I'm gonna plant here. I have 3 more months of good weather, like summer weather, so I need a heat-loving crop. I might put tomatoes, although it's getting kind of late for them. Let's see, what else can I put? I might put sweet potato. Yeah, I think we're gonna do sweet potatoes in here and just try to trellis it in the back. Sweet potatoes, they love the heat. I learned the other day that you can plant them as late. They're one of the last crops to plant as a summer crop. So I think I'm just gonna put sweet potatoes in here. And I'm gonna dig up one of the snap peas roots so you can see what I'm talking about. These are the little nitrogen knobs that they will just release, and the other plants around it can use them. I know for beans, I wonder if it's the same for sweet peas. If you use the crop for nitrogen fixing, you want to cut the plant right before it blooms, so it has the most amount of nitrogen and it's not consumed by the blooms. Thank you so much for watching and happy gardening.